Hello, everyone, and welcome to my predictions for AEW All Out 2021. Now, I haven't done an AEW prediction video in a very long time, but this is for a good reason, as CM Punk will be returning to professional wrestling for the first time since 2014. This is a very big deal for everybody who loves professional wrestling and has known CM Punk for a very long time. This is huge. I am looking forward to his big match later tonight with Darby Allin. But here's the thing. I will not be watching AEW live tonight. And you may be wondering, well, is it because the pay-per-view is expensive? Well, yes. Number one, I have a way to get the tape later on. But today is the official start of the college football season. And I really do not want to miss the big Clemson versus Georgia game tonight on ABC. So that's ultimate precedence in my book. Because think about it. We got big open to the college football season today. And Clemson's playing Georgia tonight. Of course I want to watch that. Only thing is, I just wonder, why is Notre Dame playing Florida State tomorrow? I mean, they could have played today. Just curious. I'm randomly wondering right now because I'm like, wait a minute, why am I seeing this? Well, okay. But anyhow, before I get off topic, we want to focus on AEW. So how can you watch AEW tonight? Well, first of all, it begins at 8 p.m. tonight. That we know. If you want to go to a standard pay-per-view price, go through a television provider, DirecTV, Dish Network. They're all providing coverage. That I know. If you want to spend $10 less, you can do the Bleacher Report, which is $50. Now, the good thing is, if you have a VPN, you can try this. You can use Fight TV, and it will cost you around $20 US price. And if you can get Fight TV to work on your Amazon Fire Stick and get the VPN, maybe I would try Express or Surfshark, because Nord really isn't a good VPN for Fire Stick. Then that would be a good idea, because it's technically legal. You are paying for a service. You paid for a VPN. You've paid for the cheaper price, but, you know. So the start times are very interesting. As I said, 8 p.m. We do get a pre-show beginning at 7 Eastern. So if you're going to the event in Chicago tonight, it is being held in Chicago. I would suggest trying to get to the arena around 5 p.m. Central tonight, because the pre-show is going to start at 6 p.m. Central, and then the main card would begin at 7 p.m. Central. Now, here's the thing. I don't know what this is all about, but they're claiming that early Monday morning at 1 a.m. Greenwich Mountain Time. Then you got 10 a.m. Australian time, 9 a.m. pre-show. But let's get to the card. This is how I'm going to organize it. So I'm going to start off with the pre-show 10-man tag team match. So here we go. The Best Friends and Jurassic Express taking on Hardy Family Office and the Hybrid. This is an obvious one. The Best Friends and Jurassic Express are going to win. I don't see how the Hardys and the Hybrids are going to win. I just don't. I mean, you know, you have a lot of the crowd favoring the Best Friends and Jurassic Express. I mean, maybe there'll be momentum for the Hardy Family Office, maybe the Hybrid down the line, but why would you do that? Okay, next up, we move on to the Women's Casino Battle Royal. So here are the following women that we know who will be competing later this evening. I know it's a big card. But I think, and this is just going to make a lot of sense, I think Big Swole's going to win. I don't know. Something just says that a big wild card is going to win tonight. Think about it. It makes sense. She's doing very well in the indies right now. Why not Big Swole? Why doesn't she get a big victory in her career? And then you get an opportunity to compete for the AEW Women's Championship. So why not Big Swole? I would love to see her win tonight. That would be something. Now, there could be a wild card, another wild card. There's a woman that has not been yet announced for the match later tonight. You never know. There could be a big surprise in AEW. And that's where I'll bring my Daniel Bryan theory later tonight. But we'll get into that as we go along here. So here we go. Next up, we're going to move on to the Steel Cage AEW Tag Team Championship match. The Young Bucks taking on the Lucha Brothers. I'm going to say we're going to have new champions. The Lucha Brothers will win the Steel Cage match and become your new AEW Tag Team Champions. Sorry, Young Bucks. You're not winning tonight. That's the way I look at it. Now, here's something interesting that I'm looking forward to. Paul White. Yeah. You may be wondering, well, who is Paul White? You may be wondering. Yeah, Paul. Oh, man, this is a major typo. His real name is Paul Witt. That's right. The Big Show. We actually are going to see The Big Show in AEW taking on QT Marshall. Obviously, The Big Show's going to win. Sorry. Paul Witt wins. Sorry. That's the way I look at it. Okay, let's move on to the AEW Women's Championship. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, taking on Chris Stradler. This is an obvious. Dr. Baker's going to defend her Women's Championship. And by the way, in real life, she is a dentist. She is licensed to practice, I believe, in Pennsylvania, but Dr. Baker's going to win tonight. And if she doesn't, I'll be very surprised. Because she's supposed to have her big match against Big Swole, hopefully. I hope I'm right about that down the line. Okay, next up, we move on to my theory on how I think Daniel Bryan's going to make his big AEW Impact match. Jon Moxley taking on Satoshi Kojima. This is where I think Moxley's going to win the match. The former Dean Ambrose of WWE. So, randomly, because we see how this works all the time in AEW, there's going to be a big surprise. And out comes Daniel Bryan. So Daniel Bryan's going to randomly attack Jon Moxley, punch him, and then the crowd boos Daniel Bryan. I know, I'm making a controversial prediction, but that's the way I think it's going to happen. And that's going to set up a very long rivalry and a feud with Jon Moxley. Where Moxley felt that he had no random need to get attacked by Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, I don't know. Maybe this could be a good heel turn for Daniel Bryan. It could be good for him. We'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. Now we move on to the AEW TNT Television Championship, where Miro, the former man known as Rusev, taking on Eddie Kingston. Obviously, Miro's going to win. I would be very shocked if he loses, because since he's debuted on AEW, he's had a very good run. And there has to be somebody legit down the line. Maybe a Daniel Bryan. Who knows? Maybe Braun Strowman. Because remember, Braun Strowman's going to Impact. But remember, Impact has that deal where you can cross over between Impact Wrestling, TNA, and go to AEW. And I'll explain how this works in the main event later tonight, hopefully. Unless I'm wrong, that maybe CM Punk will close out the show tonight, which I think could be the right thing to do. But we'll have to see what happens. So I'll just move on to the CM Punk versus Darby Allin match. So again, this is a big, hyped up match. The main reason why a lot of people are going to buy into the pay-per-view tonight is because of CM Punk. He's back in professional wrestling. This is a huge deal because, again, we have not seen CM Punk compete since 2014 in a professional wrestling ring, taking on Darby Allin. So I think what's going to happen is CM Punk is going to win the match, but then Sting is going to have an epic stare down with CM Punk, which will set up a long feud between CM Punk and Sting. That's the way I think it's going to happen. I think eventually CM Punk will have a one-on-one match with Sting. I think it will happen. It could have happened in WWE, but, you know, Vince McMahon, because I'm Vince McMahon, screw you, that's why you're not getting that match. Maybe Tony Khan makes the match happen? I would hope he does. And lastly, I guess we'll just move on to the AEW Championship. Kenny Omega, your current champion, taking on the TNA Impact World Heavyweight Champion, Christian Cage. So, this is a very huge implication tonight because this is a very big deal. Understand what's going to happen here for Christian Cage. If he wins tonight, he will hold on to the TNA and the AEW championships. If Kenny retains tonight, nothing really happens because I believe Kenny and Christian are going to face each other for the TNA belt again. So, a lot of implication. Christian has to win this match tonight in order to become a dual champion. So, would this mean that there's technically an undisputed champion? I don't know. You never know what could happen in professional wrestling. But it would be very interesting. But I think it will happen. Because since Christian has come back to TNA, he has been unstoppable. And he's beaten Kenny in TNA, in Nashville. And I've gotten back to watching TNA for that reason. I haven't watched Impact Wrestling in so long. To be honest, I haven't watched Impact Wrestling since AJ Styles was on there. So I've had a good reason to watch just because, hey, you know, you got Impact on Wednesday. Then Thursday night, we have Impact on Axis. You know, it makes a compelling storyline. So I think we are going to see a dual champion tonight. Now, the only question I wonder, is Christian going to walk out with the TNA championship? I think there's a possibility that it could happen. And listen, I think Dixie Carter will be in the building tonight in Chicago. And I know Dixie very well. She was the one who wanted AEW and TNA to do business because, again, she actually reached out to Vince McMahon a very long time ago saying, hey, can we do business with you guys? Can we maybe share TNA and WWE? Vince McMahon turned him down. Then when AEW reached out to TNA, Tony Khan said, hey, Dixie Carter, maybe we want to do business with you. So that's what happened. That's why we're in this spot. So don't be surprised if they show Dixie Carter during the pay-per-view tonight. Because I know Dixie. She cares about her business. All right? They're an independent faction. They want to do very good business with AEW to get their brand for strength. And who knows? Maybe if this goes well tonight, maybe if Christian does beat Kenny, there is a possibility that, I don't know, maybe Impact Wrestling can go to TBS? on Thursday nights? That would be huge for the Impact brand to be on a bigger network like TBS. I could see that happening. Or TNT or something. You never know. Or maybe they go back on Spike TV. Anything's possible if Christian can win this match tonight. If Christian has to win, if he doesn't, I'll be very shocked. I would love to see Christian win. So he becomes both the TNA and the AEW champion. So there you go. That's going to wrap up this video. And I will mention one last thing. TNA is not supposed to have their next pay-per-view until October. So that's why you need to monitor this pay-per-view tonight if you're looking forward to the big TNA pay-per-view in October. So with that, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you all for watching. Until the next one, please take care and enjoy All Out, either live or maybe on tape delay. Because again, I know a lot of people want to watch the Clemson-Georgia game like I do. So, bye everyone.